We have an update for you this morning on a story that Jericka Duncan has been following for more than a decade. Cariol Horne was dismissed from the Buffalo, New York Police Department after she intervened when a white officer used a chokehold on a black man. This was back in 2006. Now a judge has decided to reverse Horne's termination and reinstate her pension. Jericka Duncan spoke to Horne about why she kept fighting all these years.
Cariol Horne never stopped believing in the justice system.
Did you ever think this day would come?
I did think this day would come. That's why I kept fighting.
Horne's story goes back almost 15 years. In 2006, the former Buffalo, New York police officer made headlines after she tried to stop fellow officer Greg Kwiatkowski from choking a black suspect, Neil Mack. Horne says she was struck in the face by Kwiatkowski at the time.
Get off of him now!
This past summer, after watching George Floyd's breath slip away under the knee of former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin, Horne recalled why she intervened.
Neil Mack looked like he was about to die. So had I not stepped in, he possibly could have. He was handcuffed and being choked.
To this day, Mack maintains Horne saved his life.
He was choking me. I was handcuffed. Cariol Horne said, "You killing him, Greg," and she reached over and tried to grab his hand around my neck.
The police department brought disciplinary charges against Horne,
Even though a judge made a decision regarding
which I covered as a reporter in Buffalo for CBS affiliate WIVB more than a decade ago.
So they can't hide behind the lies.
The department fired the mother of 5 after finding her use of force against a fellow officer was unjustified. She was terminated just months before being eligible to receive her full pension. As for Greg Kwiatkowski, he was later sentenced to 4 months in federal prison in 2018 for using unlawful and unreasonable force against 4 black teenagers. In October of last year, Buffalo City's mayor signed the Duty to Intervene law, which would require police to step in if a fellow officer uses excessive force. It's legislation Horne helped write and had been pushing since 2016.
We don't want other officers to go through what I've gone through, but we don't want other victims to go through what George Floyd went through.
That same month, with the help of attorneys Ron Sullivan and Intisar Robb, Horne filed a lawsuit to overturn her 2008 termination. Just this week, a New York State judge ruled that Horne's pension, which she says is worth at least $800,000, must be reinstated.
We asked the judge to vacate the decision, get rid of the decision, and reinstate her nunc pro tunc, a Latin phrase which means bring it back to 2008 and fix this thing. So it's called an equitable remedy that allows judges to go back and in the interest of justice.
In an 11-page opinion, the judge quoted the words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., saying, "The time is always right to do right." He went on to say the city of Buffalo has recognized the error and has acknowledged the need to undo an injustice from the past.
when you read those words, what went through your mind?
Finally, somebody gets it. Somebody understands.
Ron?
It was a powerful decision and really said what needed to be said. It was a gross injustice that happened. And he basically said, look, we're sorry. We got this wrong.
An admission nearly 15 years in the making. Justice delayed, not denied, but sadly only realized because of a tragedy witnessed by the world. For CBS This Morning, Jericka Duncan, New York.
A round of applause for Cariol Horne.
Yes.
Just stuck in there. I mean, I so admire her conviction back then. I love looking at her as an officer back then and the woman she is today, and that she never gave up.
Never gave up.
15 years is a long time, though. But the
I
key
like the
words
quote, the time is always right. Did you write it down?
yeah, the time is always right to do right.
To do right, yes.
I didn't know what nunc pro tunc it's called.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what they used.
Latin.
And it's close to $1 million, $800,000, but that to me is still not enough for what she's endured, what she's been through. Now, interesting that how it really mirrors what is happening today.
Yeah. Well, it's obviously it shouldn't have taken a long, but at least it's finally come.
And Jericka.
I know.
Jericka. Wow.
A Jericka flashback.
Yes, how fitting that she was there at the beginning and now she's here to see the conclusion. Very nice, Jericka
Glad
Duncan.
she's with us.